All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new video. And today I'm talking a little bit about Rebel Moon and the future of the franchise. Now, I'm one of the few who actually really enjoyed both parts 1 and 2. And recently, all over social media, people try to criticize me and my DC views by all of a sudden throwing in comments about the failed universe of Rebel Moon and how in its second weekend that Rebel Moon part 2 dropped its views by 68%. And that is a pretty big drop. I'm not going to deny that. But at this point, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to explain here. So, first of all, there's no indication that Rebel Moon is a dead franchise. Okay? There's no indication of that. In fact, the one variable in here that we don't know yet is Dan Lin himself. Now, he has had a relationship with Zack in the past, as far as a studio, basically they've worked around each other. And there are rumors that he does like Zack Snyder. We've heard some of these comments in the past, but at the same time, some people take some of those comments as being negative, and they could possibly be viewed that way. We just don't know. Like I said, the one variable is Dan Lin, and we don't know what his intentions are, but he is the head of the movie division over there at Netflix. All we do know at this stage is that they are writing Rebel Moon 3. They are in the process of writing the script for Rebel Moon 3, and they do have the story planned out to 6 movies. So that leads us to where we are today. A lot of people are saying it's going to die, they're going to cancel it, and they don't know what Netflix is going to do. Here's what we do know. The movie cost, all 4 films, and I'm counting Rebel Moon 1 and 2, and the extended versions that have yet to get released in August, and I guarantee you that if they are going to cancel it, they're not going to mention anything until after the August release date of those movies. But Zack Snyder got this studio 4 different films, which brings in a whole ton of viewership. And what you have is his budget was $160 million. So basically $80 million for each of those movies. There's nobody that can make blockbuster films for that in Hollywood right now. And Netflix got 4 films out of it. And when you go and you look, there is a chart out there, and I've shared this in a previous video, and people have mentioned this in my comments and on Twitter. Netflix has an algorithm that they use that a film has to have X amount of views based on the dollar amount spent to make said film. Rebel Moon 1, the first release, already surpassed what Netflix needed to consider it a success. Not one massive, huge success, but to justify the price tag. And that was before the second one even got released. So any views that they get on the second one, any views that they get on the extended versions are just icing on the cake. Those are just the facts. Anybody spouting anything else has no idea what they're talking about. They don't understand how Netflix works as a streaming platform. Now, we still don't know what Dan Lin is going to do. And like I said, if they do plan on canceling it, which they could, there's a very real possibility they could. The movie division could get a whole entire, overhaul, and they may end up not moving forward with it, which is fine. I do hope they let it go so that he can continue it elsewhere. But I don't think that is going to happen because of the streaming numbers. The first week for both of those films was wildly successful. And like I said, they already got the views needed to justify the $160 million price tag on the first one. And we still have 2 more movies to be released. And if you don't think those are going to do even better, people are looking for those extended versions. Critics are going to go back. People who wrote off Rebel Moon entirely after the first one are going to show up for the extended versions. That's the way Zack Snyder stuff works, and it's a shame that they couldn't release those to begin with. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the R rating that those are going to get. The reason they're getting rated R is because of excessive gore. They said there's going to be nudity, sexuality, and I can't remember what else they said. But It is rated R. It is not rated X. So people expecting to go in to see this massive gore fest or massive nudity and sex in it, it's not going to be to that degree because it is rated R. It is not rated X. So people need to hold their expectations back. If it was something like if Game of Thrones had been, a movie on some streaming network, that would have been rated X. I can tell you that right now. So this isn't going to be on the level of something like that show was. It's just not. But I am looking forward to seeing the rest of the story, the complete story, and not getting something that has been pared down. Now, I still enjoyed both the first films, and those may be the versions I stick with forever. I don't know. I haven't seen the extended versions, but all indications is that they will be better films that fits Zack Snyder's record. And I think it's a shame that we didn't get the real versions to begin with. We wouldn't even be talking about this stuff here today. Now, it is also important to note that there is a game coming out for Rebel Moon. It's some mobile game that looks pretty cool. And the comic books are still being released, and there will be a trade paperback of the Blood Axe storyline when it is completed. And when I actually get around to reading all of it, when it does come out, I will do a review on that story itself. All right, guys, so there's my Rebel Moon update. We just got to sit back, hold tight, and wait and see what happens. There's no indication it's getting canceled. There's no indication it's actually moving forward, other than the fact that we do know the script is being written. That is the most solid information we have at this stage, is that script is being prepped and readied, but it has not been greenlit. It is not going into production just yet, but they are getting it prepped for such a move. So we will see here shortly in the next 3 to 4 months. I will be doing updates if there is enough information being released in regards to Rebel Moon for those who are interested. I do appreciate the support. We will see you on the next video.